Hello everybody and welcome back to Aurora 4X. Today we are going to be trying to rush ourselves some engines, I think. Because we need to... Well, we're basically just going to really be exploring, to be honest. Yes, we're just going to be exploring, letting tech build up. We've got salvage module, which is going to be done soon, and then compressed fuel storage. So, yeah, we got tech coming. I want to try and get that marine company sooner rather than later, preferably. Perhaps we can get more freighters. Can we get more freighters? These guys make it. Yes, yes. Yeah. Get some more freighters in so we can get those labs moved across faster. Colony shipbuild. Yeah, nothing important going on. Nothing important going on. Production ordnance factories are done in Australia. Awesome. We now have 4 too many. Fuck! Okay. Doesn't matter. Not important. Alright, so we got ordnance production. That should be enough to, at least for the time being, get our production going nicely. We can also always just tech this up a little bit. What are we doing? We'll go warhead and then nothing that important. So might as well boost ordnance production. And then I suppose feed efficiency. Actually, no, go for the 20cm advanced railgun. That should be after the feed production. Okay. Yeah, go for the larger advanced railgun. Well, we're going to get more labs soon, so that's fine. I should be making mines. Mines or auto mines or something. Need more auto mines, I think. So let's drop this down to 70. We're going to get automated mines. Automated mines, create, and regular mines, create. Yeah, that'll do. That should give us plenty. How many have we got? 792. Now, Luna, I don't really care about, but Mercury, how many... We have 3.6 million available workers. Yeah, we need... we definitely need lots of mines over here, ASAP. So, civilians, let's get 200 mines over here, please. And supply 200. There we go. I'm going to cancel the research labs. Hang on. Yeah, we're going to cancel the research labs. Yeah, the civilians aren't doing anything over here, so we're just going to... Daft. We're just going to cancel these. We're just going to move them manually. Oh, fucking of course they're coming now. How many fighter factories do you actually have? 71. Where are you getting these fighter factories from? Is it Elwood? Fuck off. I don't know. Oh well. Abandoned automated mine in Melbourne. Fine. Production of green ant is done. Fine. How are we doing on tech right now? Ooh. Okay, so our next batch, a batch of wallabies are done. Great. Salvage module 750 is done, so we can upgrade our salvagers if we need to. Abandoned research facility on Melbourne, so let's put you on the clock. Ugh. We're getting a bit too many of these things. A bit too many facilities. Down to only 5.3 million workers. So that's not great. The oxygen is going up slowly. You know what? All we need to do is just get oxygen to 10%. Like maybe 0.15. Yeah. Because we got nitrogen in Melbourne. We got nitrogen. All we need to do is just get it up to oxygen. It's like 1.3. So if we get it up to like, yeah, if we get up to like 0.15, that should be about 10%. We should make it habitable immediately because we already have the temperature. Temperature's fine, just nobody can breathe the atmosphere. So Melbourne's very quickly going to get a whole bunch of colonists, and if we set, maybe not you, but stable, and then source, and then Mars I like, Mercury we're going to keep. No, you have a worker shortage, you stay stable. Mercury has available workers, but then they're going to go away soon. Perth are staying exactly where they are. No spreading your thingness. So, yeah, Melbourne needs people. So we're just going to be shipping from Luna to Melbourne then. Okay. Got 28 million unemployed. Yeah, they'll be much better served than over in Melbourne. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. The wallabies can just stay where they are for the time being. Factory restored. Technical jump drive efficiency 8. Awesome. More jump drive efficiency is always helpful. Okay. Override location. Yeah, no surprise. Yep, that's fine. We're still producing a huge amount of research points in Melbourne, thanks to our anomaly. Alright, we've got an active research lab in Australia that's done, so we're going to pump it into power. We're going up from 15 to 16. Yeah, not bad. We're almost done with the compressed fuel storage system. We'll probably need to do something about that in a sec. Factory restored. Corbomite. Righto. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting corbomite. So much 1000 is a bit too expensive, I think. But ground unit strength is cheap enough. Queue that up. As soon as we get the large fuel storage system, I'll remove the labs down and pump them back into the fusion reactor. I believe this is actually our first tier of fusion power. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's our first stage of fusion power. Oh, Walter Raleigh is about to transit and explore our next system. And it is Wollongong. Let's have a look at it. Nitrogen, oxygen, low oxygen, but potentially habitable, except for the massive freezing cold surface temperature. What the hell kind of a star is this? It's a G1V. It's a little bit bigger, but much less luminous than our own. So that explains why the surface temperature is basically frozen. Also, it's got an orbital distance of 316 million kilometers. Oh, these are moons. Yeah. So it's got an orbital distance of 316 million kilometers. So that combined with the much reduced luminosity means that the surface temperature is freezing. So I don't think we're going to run into an NPR here. We could potentially run into a spoiler, but no NPR. So that's fine. We're just going to run survey. And at the very least, we'll see him coming. Pretty far out from the jump point, though. That's billions of kilometers. We've got another lab in Australia that's now available. Pump that up. Automated mine on Melbourne. Yeah, we finally actually don't really almost want any more labs, because each lab takes 1 million scientists. It takes 1 million population of a working population. So, like we got 13 labs, and we have 13 million scientists on world. Like, so that's a lot. Mercury is a little bit short. Might have been a little bit much to get them that many mines, but we have 700 mines. We're producing 20,000 minerals at the moment. That's only going to go up as our manufacturing efficiency goes up. So we actually need another mass driver. So demand 1 more mass driver and supply 1 mass driver. Yeah, they are getting fighter factories from somewhere. So, you know, I'm not complaining about basically free fighter factories being dropped off from nowhere. And we've got 32 million workers at the moment here. We've got plenty of mass driver capacity. So, yeah, I have no problem. Ooh, missile ECM is almost done. Connor O'Connor, are you... Oh, yeah, you got plenty. Yeah, you got plenty. Might need more survey ships. Okay, so missile ECM2 is done, so that will help our missiles be more awesome. So that's fine. I'm not going to redesign them just yet. Yeah, I'm not going to redesign them just yet. I suppose we should probably place Wollongong somewhere in our systems, so you can go there for the time being. And I probably should get a few more surveyors as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to get 2 more Wills class explorer surveyors. Our haulers are almost done. Our sensor wallaby is almost done. What do we actually have in here? Nuclear thermal engine. No, disassemble that. No, scrap that. Commercial ion drive. I suppose we can scrap some of it. Tiny ion drive, scrap that. This is their one, I believe. Maybe. Explosion 30%. I'm pretty sure that's theirs. Maybe. Ship components. Capacity 130. Yeah, because that one's at 300. So we'll scrap those, because they're tiny and worthless. EM, yeah, we'll scrap that. That's our fire control, we'll keep that one. That one's theirs, and there's nothing we can get out of it, so scrap those. No tech. This is actually a very interesting and peculiar bug that happens when you can't transfer an entire component in one go with your freighters. This will let us disassemble it forever, but if we scrap it while it's negative, then it's basically going to steal resources. So I might have to database hack that out. Anyway, size 4 box launcher, nothing there. And we don't use size 4 missiles, so we'll scrap those. Size 1 missile launcher will keep because that could be useful. Thermal sensor, there's nothing there. Scrap that. Scrap that. 10 centimeter near ultraviolet. No. Nothing there. And I don't care about 10 centimeters because they're only really useful for like point defense. If that. I don't even know what the tracking speed on that. Just scrap it. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Research lab is almost done. I think I want another 2 of these. 2 more military academies. I want got plenty of fuel. We can probably even stop production just right this second. Yeah, nothing else. Okay. Just tack on 2 more labs then. After the academies are done. Alright, compressed fuel storage is almost done. Research lab is done. Good. We've got a spare lab, as expected, and we are now in 30th of August for completion of our tokamak fusion reactor. Our compressed fuel storage is almost here, so we're going to be pulling like 10 labs off it and putting it into our new power plant. Abandoned Ground Forces training facility. Oh, that's nice. Oh, there is one thing I want to do real quick. So, with cargo, right? 33 days to currently unload. What I want to do is actually want to have it send a message as every time it unloads a new batch of things. So once they've dropped it off and it's dropped and it goes back down to the bottom, I'm going to add send a message underneath it. And that will basically send a message every time it unloads a new batch. Anyway, compressed fuel storage is almost done. And there it is. Beautiful. We are going to... I want Marine Company in about a year, so I think... Yeah, 4th of May is fine. And then we'll shift those 10 into the fusion reactor. It doesn't make that huge of a difference right now. It's like end of August. So it's at the moment it only shaves like a month, maybe 2. But it's going to make a huge difference when we actually have when we switch to the new engine. It'll be a huge difference when we switch to the new engine, and I'll show you once we actually start. But yeah, our 3 new haulers are done, so that's fine. We will split off, and now it's going to take them 28 days. So here's what we're going to do: task groups, cargo, join. Okay, but we're going to do an order delay. Now, here's where it gets really annoying. The order delay is in seconds, right? Seconds. So what we need to do is we need to figure out how many seconds this cargo is going to take. And I'm actually not going to do that because I don't want to try and figure out the math easily. So 28 days, 11 hours, 2 seconds. So what do you have? 28, 28 days to seconds is about 2.5 million. Okay, so 2.5 million seconds we're going to wait. 2.5 million seconds. Done. And that should wait until cargo is almost right on top of Australia, and then it'll jump out, and that'll save a little bit of fuel. Okay. Bull ants are done. Great. Marine company has started. Great. Cargo completing orders will also help us. I mean, even if they don't, because we have the cargo 2s, they will catch up. So, even if they miss it, they're going to catch up. Let me just go check cargo real quick. Or at least these guys. Yeah, because it doesn't say how long they're actually waiting anywhere once you actually put it in. But you can kind of see it there because it does have the... kind of, not really. I don't know. Point is that it just waits acknowledgement. So they will be waiting for a while. Hopefully the correct amount of time. Okay. Ordnance factory. Fine. That might be the countdown for how long they're waiting. So I might have got the timing a little bit off. Not a big deal. Terraforming installation on Melbourne. Awesome! So they're actually going to terraform a little bit ever so slightly faster. So if we go have a look at Melbourne now, we can see that we actually have 2. So yeah, so we have 2 ground and 26 orbital effective. So we're producing 0.05. So we're about almost halfway to the amount of oxygen that we need. We still have 173 installations left. And we are not producing artifacts. Now, I've heard that artifact production might be broken. I have also heard that it might be subject to the random roll of what resources are made in surplus. So, there's a distinct... artifacts are not a guaranteed production. They are not a guaranteed good, which just means that if you get a planet that does produce them, assuming they're not outright broken, which is another thing that I have also heard. So assuming they're not outright broken and never form, any planet that produces artifact is going to be super valuable for trade, because it's probably going to be like your only one producing artifacts. So, yeah. Okay. Terraforming, yeah. Alright, nothing else fancy going on. 29th of June is when we can expect the fusion reactor to be done. And right, that's going to take so long. I'm just going to shift 5 more labs into here. Once again, it doesn't make too much of a difference here. It makes a huge difference once it actually switches. And, you know, a couple of days earlier doesn't hurt. Okay. That's nice. Melbourne has finished advanced spinal. I'm also thinking that maybe we can rush the lasers a little bit more. Get that laser tech up. But no, actually we're kind of doing that already. I mean, we do have it queued. And they do research pretty quick. So, not a huge deal. Research complete. Perth has finished genomic research. So we can actually start doing biology. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on our genomes. Now, these do not. Actually, let's talk racial tolerances. Let's talk racial tolerances and how they work and how they apply to biology. So, these are your tolerances. All right. So humans have an ideal constant oxygen content of 0.2 atmospheres. So flat 0.2 atmospheres. What that means is that, well, ideally you want oxygen to be at 0.2. However, you get no benefit for being exactly 0.2. What's more important is the maximum deviation of 0.1. And what this means is that your oxygen tolerance is between that minus that and that plus that. So your base minus your max and base plus your deviation. So that means anywhere between 0.1, which is 0.2 minus 0.1, and 0.3, which is 0.2 minus plus 0.1, is tolerable. All right? So very happy to have anywhere between 0.1 and 0.3 atmospheres of oxygen. Great. Makes sense. Ideal temperature is exactly the same. You want it to be on 14, but the deviation is what matters. 14 plus minus 24. Anywhere in that range will be colony cost 0. Ideal gravity and the gravity deviation, exactly the same. Ideal gravity plus minus your deviation is your maximum acceptable gravity. So for humans, it is between 0.1 Gs and between 1.9 Gs. For temperature, of course, it is minus 10 to 38 degrees. And then maximum pressure 4, which is the absolute maximum pressure, atmospheric pressure in total that the species will tolerate. All makes sense. The genetics modify your base level. And that is something very important to keep in mind. They do not modify your deviation, they modify your base level. So what that means is that if we were to reduce, like let's say we wanted to be able to settle a planet while having less oxygen. So we don't have to put as much oxygen into the atmosphere. We can reduce our base oxygen level by 15%. All right. So let's have a look. So base is 0.2, and then we multiply that by 0.85. Yep. So we get 0.17. Okay. So 0.17 becomes our new base oxygen level. All right. That means that our minimum will decrease by 0.1 to 0.07. So we will be perfectly happy at 0.07 atmospheres of oxygen. So less oxygen is required to make the planet habitable in the first place. However, it also decreases your maximum, because our maximum oxygen tolerance now decreases from 0.3 to 0.27, because the deviation remains the same at 0.1. Now, we can increase the temperature range for the temperature, but the temperature range is the only one that allows you to increase your deviation compared to the other one. So you can modify your base gravity to make, but if you modify for more gravity, you lose your your smaller planets. If you modify for less gravity, you might pick up a couple of dwarf planets or a couple of asteroids, but you're going to lose on your regular sized planets, right? Oxygen is probably the most tolerable, and I really don't see why you would ever want to raise your oxygen tolerance, because there's basically no reason why. Like most planets don't have huge oxygen tolerances anyway, and if you're going to be terraforming a planet, you can easily drop the oxygen down to something more tolerable. The oxygen base down, I can see being useful, simply because you have to put in less oxygen in the first place to make it tolerable. Base temperature, raising it with the way that the greenhouse effect works. Let's go talk greenhouse. Okay, so surface temperature in Kelvin is base temperature times greenhouse factor times albedo. All right, the greenhouse factor is 1 plus atmospheric pressure divided by 10 plus greenhouse pressure with a maximum of 3. So what that means is that your base temperature is your surface temperature is your base temperature times greenhouse factor times albedo. Albedo is usually negligible, so we're just going to ignore it for the time being. So essentially, surface temperature is base times greenhouse factor. Here's the thing. Your greenhouse factor has an absolute maximum of 3. No matter how much you add of any gas, your maximum greenhouse factor is 3. What this means is that because the temperature is a straight multiplier of greenhouse factor, and greenhouse factor does not have a minimum, it is entirely possible that with only about 1 atmosphere of anti-greenhouse gas, you can drop a planet down to like 0 Kelvin, or something stupidly low, right? You can drop your greenhouse factor to almost 0, which essentially means that you can take a planet that is, 1,000 degrees surface temperature with like a couple of hundred base temperature, and you can drop it to absolute 0 with barely over 1 atmosphere worth of anti-greenhouse gas. It is that powerful. Hot worlds are super easy to terraform down to a habitable range. Now, you do have to be a little bit careful because if the base temperature is really high, then the greenhouse factor can easily skip over a huge range or skip over your tolerance range. So you might need to juggle it a little bit with exactly how much terraforming you're putting in. But essentially, hot temperatures can be dropped to almost nothing. Conversely, because your greenhouse factor has a maximum of 3, planets with a super low base temperature can be impossible to get within your deviation, right? So let's have a look. So Earth is -10, right? So -10 is what's -10 in Kelvin? -10 C to Kelvin. 263. Okay. So 263, and then divide that by 3, right? Because we're basically multiplying up to a maximum of 3. So if we divide it by 3, we get the absolute maximum temperature that a planet can be and still get within tolerable range of base humans. 87.6. Now, that's mind-numbingly cold, but there are planets that get colder than 86 Kelvin. And 86 Kelvin is, let's say 88 Kelvin, is -185. Okay, so -185. If we go have a look at Sol, let's take a look at one of our little far-flung asteroids. -238. That is stupid low. 185. What's 185 plus 88 is 200 and... Yeah. So this is only about 30 degrees above 0 Kelvin. It's only about 30 degrees above absolute 0. So this asteroid will never be perfectly habitable to standard humans. Now, that's ignoring the super low gravity. Let's say that you could get the gravity up to something reasonable. It'll never be habitable because the temperature is just so damn low. Where's the cutoff? We're looking for 185 degrees. So right about there, right? So Elatus, everything further than Elatus is going to be permanently uninhabitable. Well, high colony cost. You can't get a 0. Anything closer than Okirho? I don't fucking know. Anything closer than that is going to be possible, but you would need to dump 3 atmospheres worth of greenhouse gas into it, right? Titan is 178. That is barely there. That's going to need the full 3 atmospheres to get it up to something, to get it barely above our minimum, right? So that's the thing. So what that means is that when it comes to genetic engineering, where's my science gone? I closed my science. When it comes to genetic engineering, increasing a base temperature, not really that useful. Decreasing a base temperature, very useful. Simply because you can get your... by decreasing this down far enough, you can basically make every single planet and body tolerable to your race. Right? Maybe not like down to 1, because good fucking luck, because that's like 2 multiplied by 3, that's like 6 degrees? Yeah, so that's not going to happen. But, you know, you're not really going to be seeing like 20 degrees, multiply that by 3, that's 60. So if you can get your tolerance range down to 60 degrees Kelvin, then you can settle something that's 20. Anyway, the point is, lowering a base temperature and increasing temperature range together can make a whole host of otherwise inhospitable planets perfectly hospitable. So, for biology techs, you want reduction in oxygen level, reduction in base temperature and temperature range, and then base gravity depending on whether you want like a high mass, a high gravity or a low gravity world. Fairly straightforward. At the moment, I don't think I'm going to mess with this, but I do want to work on terraforming rate. But this is on the wrong planet. There we go. Okay. I do want to work on the terraforming rate. No, I want something cheap. Not energy weapons. Logistics? Yeah, that's cheap. Enough. There you go. See if you can get very large compressed fuel. Perfect. Okay. Do we want additional freighters? I think we do. Because they're super cheap. And they're very easy to get. So, alright, let's keep on pushing for tokamak fusion power plants. We're at 5,600 at the moment. We are getting a lot. Our cargo has almost arrived. Yeah, they've almost finished unloading. So we're just gonna jump a day. Oh no, they've almost arrived. Are they heading back already? I think they are. Yes, good. Okay. So we are going to send message, add labs delivered. Perfect. And we'll return to cycling. Okay. So that's sorted. Alright, 5648. How many are we actually getting? Like 5648. Like it should be like 300? No, way more. We'll get almost 1,000 a week. So that's gonna take only a couple of weeks left. 25,000 tons of titanium in Melbourne. Yes, please. I am happy with that. That is good. Yes, yes. Yes, very good. Uranium is... Well, the uranium is going to be fine because we have mercury mining it. And they're doing a pretty bang-up job. 14,000 a year, which is pretty good. Military academies are done. Great. Double click, that's bad. One thing to watch out for is that if you double click on an increment, it will actually do 2 of them at once, in one go. So that is something to watch out for. It might only work on these though, but Either way, something to watch out for. Okay. 3059. Oh no, I don't think we're gonna get 1,000. No, we can't get 1,000. We'll take 120,000 tech to do that. We get about 500. Okay, we got our colliers, extra colliers done. Awesome, excellent, great. We are, of course, running for the tokamak. We want to get that done. How are we doing? Yeah, they're producing, they're fine. Ah, we got extra labs in Australia. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I want to rush it. Focus research. 907. It should be like 2 weeks left. 16th of June to 7th of June. Yeah, about 2 weeks. Minerals located on Newcastle A asteroid. Righto. Abandoned mine in Melbourne. Yep, that's fine. We can go to that. And tokamak fusion is done. Beautiful. Now, let's get that fusion engine. Internal confinement with 31 labs, 55% bonus. That's going to take about a year. Cool. That's pretty damn awesome. Cue that. Okay, so internal confinement. We're 1 year away. Let's go. Orders are not possible in Wollongong. Cool. So if you're done with that, switch to Raleigh. Switch to gravitational survey. Great. And no enemies, which is always lovely. Research labs in Australia done. So we're reducing from 20th of June to 9th of June. Yeah, it's actually not that much. Because like each lab adds a smaller percentage of the total research points added. So that's something to keep in mind. 6750 tons of enderite. Cool. Hey, are we actually getting any gallicite anywhere? Well, Perth A1 has shit tons of it. So that's fine, I guess. We need to send some freighters out to ship. And once the labs are gone, we'll move some minerals across. Oh yeah, no, we're fine. We're getting it from Perth A3. So, I mean, it's 0.1, so it's terrible, but we also get 100 million duranium at 0.1, so that's fine. Except we're not actually mining it, so yeah. Not getting it there, but we have a tiny stockpile. Not getting it there. Not getting it there. Not getting it there. Not getting it there. Small deposit, but we're not getting it there either. So, no, we're actually not getting any gallicite anywhere. We got a nice stockpile, but we got no actual income. Victoria, Brisbane. Sydney had some, I think. Didn't Sydney have some? No. 0.1. Not worth it. Huh. Calcite. All systems. Search. Minimum accessibility, let's put it at 7. Lock in. Wollongong, holy shit, that's a jam. Actually, Wollongong and Brisbane. Holy shit. Macholtz has a good deposit, but these two are our jam. Lovely. 48 million duranium at 0.4. 34 million of thorium at 0.6. Cobamite's not important. Corundium at, I don't know what accessibility that is. And then Wollongong A2 has 13 million at 0.7. Iridium, neutronium, corundium, boronide, vendorite, 18 million at 0.3 duranium, cobamite, thorium, and macassium. Most of those are only 0.1, but that 0.7 galisite is fucking brilliant. Except that Brisbane C2 is at 0.8. So I think Colony, and Colony. Oh, we already have a Colony. So these three are definitely going to be our source of galisite, and we need to get them settled. So Brisbane and Wollongong. Is Macholtz being mined? No. What is it? It's got a mass driver. No, it is being mined. Okay, so we do have a colony. We do have a source. 20,000. As soon as this one is done, it's got an orbital mine. Sydney A2, I believe, is a major planet. Yes. And Wollongong 2... Wait, was it Sydney? No, it was Brisbane. One of these two. This one. Now, that's a moon. So we're not going to be able to use asteroid miners. And that's a planet, so we're not going to be able to use asteroid miners. So... Oh, well. We'll just have to use ground-based mines. 8.4, that's not bad. 23.9, okay, that is pretty bad. Why? Because it's 610 degrees. That's why. Because it's... Okay, it's a Venus. It's a hell world. So, that's not going to get terraformed anytime soon. So I think we're going to go for the one where we can actually even remotely exist. And so 8.4. And it's got a very low total pressure. But it's got sulfur dioxide, helium, and hydrogen. Unfortunately, it's got a base temp of 226. So we're never going to be able to warm it up to anything reasonable. So either way, our... suitability cost is going to be kind of crap. Oh well. So, where are we going? Melbourne. Civilians are never going to go there. Actually, it is dropping slowly. So, civilians might be able to get to Melbourne. So, let's go ahead and get our gate builder online. Where are you? Did we put it back in the shipyard? I believe we did. No? Where are you? That's a terraformer, asteroid miner, terraformer. Salvager. Was it this one? No. Oh, that's a population transport. Holler. Shit, where the hell is it? Did we lose it? Double hump, cactus, waller, camel, colliers, potteroos, and wallabies. Where the shit is our gate builder? I got no fucking clue. It must have been blown up at some point somewhere in the past. I don't know. Okay. That's fine. We can design on with the new engines. It's cool. Factory restored. Ordnance factory. Cool. We got some extra freighters. So... what else do we do? Beyond repair. Unfortunate. Let me go have a quick look at the troops on Melbourne just to make sure that we haven't lost a great leader out of him. 34, 27, 25. Yeah, no, that's still good Xenos. Okay. Where are you? What are you doing? Are you... Melbourne, are you able to maintain them yet? No. Why the fuck not? Because you're building 2 maintenance facilities a year. That's why. And we can't get too many construction facilities in there. Okay. So... Victoria Patrol. You guys are up at 2 years at the moment. Go and overhaul. Refuel and begin overhaul. It's fine. They can handle a little bit without coverage. $36. $35. Construction factory in Melbourne. Yay! You can actually build faster. Of course, they also suffer from reduction in efficiency. Are they? It's up to 32. Yeah, still got a worker shortage, but I don't think it's as bad as it was. These are going to get a bit bigger in the next couple of years. For June 61 is currently August 60. Factory restored. Boronite, couple 100 tons. Almost less than worthless. Wills are on the production still. Well, right. I was trying to figure out what cargo was up to. They're loading components on Perth. Yeah, I don't want to send freighters out that will just have to come right back. So I'll hit them up once they pass through Victoria. Nothing useful. Nothing useful. Or at least nothing important. That's kind of weird. Geelong, what's your deal? What's going on with you? Population's falling. They've lost... Why? $3.75. I think civilians are dropping people off here, but... Yeah, civilians are dropping people off and they're just dying off. But they're like below PPV, so they don't seem to be shipping infrastructure here or something. Oh well. Yeah, manufacturing efficiency seems to be going down. Oh, that's because 20 maintenance facilities! Okay, sure. That works for me. It's exactly what we needed. Fine. Okay. That is okay. I am perfectly happy with the outcome of these events. Who got research bonus? Nobody. And confinement is down to 30,000. What's our industry doing? Can we build more labs? We can build more labs. Get me another 2 labs. So, we currently have 54, almost 55,000 total construction. Yeah, we just built a lab in a week. No, we didn't. I only allocated 2. Never mind. I thought we built a lab in a week. It's a little bit excessive. A little bit of a lie. Still, we build one in like 4 weeks. That's still impressive. That is still impressive. I mean, it's not even 100% of our capacity. 29,000. Okay. Nothing important. We're running out of time for this episode, unfortunately. We got a new Wills class. Where are we gonna send it? Oh, we got a research lab as well. So let's put you into confinement because we're rushing and system map. Refresh. Where are we gonna send you? Canberra? What's in Canberra? Oh, it's our freighters. Yeah. Let's send you into Canberra. So, Leaf Ericsson, split. And Canberra, transit. Jump point 3, transit. Geological survey, go. Beyond repair, damn. Well, he's not too far off. Alright, I think I'm going to put a break. I think we're going to cut it when we find out what's on the other side of this jump point. Which is probably going to be at the end of this week. Nope, end of next week. Or like halfway through next week. A couple of days into next week. Here we are. And we have found Rockhampton. Good old rocky Rockhampton. It's not really that rocky. Although this one kind of is. It's just full of rocks. 2 gas giants. 3 gas giants. A couple of moons. And a whole bunch of asteroids. So, good for an asteroid miner, I guess. Does have Lagrange points. So there is a super Jovian in here. Somewhere. So Lagrange points happen when you have either multiple stars or actually almost entirely super, very large gas giants. And they basically act as jump points that can only transfer between other Lagrange points in the system. But very importantly, you don't need a jump drive to hop through them. So you can hop through a Lagrange point without a jump drive, which can be extremely useful. However, this system is only like 4 billion kilometers from the jump point. So these jump points are 340 million kilometers apart. So unless you're transiting like between these rocks and these rocks, you're really not going to gain anything. Anyway, so that is it for today. Hopefully you've all learned something with bioengineering and terraforming for that. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time, where hopefully we'll finally get our new engines, because we're almost halfway there. So see you then.